Godzilla approaches! I have to keep my cool.
He will know our country's swift hand of justice.
With over 50 years of films and a wide range of westernized reboots and sequels, the Godzilla series has become one of the most universally acclaimed monster franchises to date. As a long-time fan of the series myself, I have longed for the release of at least one decent Godzilla fighting game, complete with all the cheesy and awesome aspects that made these classic films so fun to watch. So when I heard the news that Namco was working on a PlayStation 4 title, as you can probably guess, I was actually looking forward to this game. But as it turns out, through its clunky combat, uninspired game modes, and ugly presentation, that not even the most ample fan service is able to save Godzilla from the realms of mediocrity.
Sometimes they can't help biting the hand that feeds them.
Whilst paying homage to the original movie with one fairly decent tutorial screen, it's from here on out that things start to go downhill. With only 2 offline modes, God of Destruction and King of Kaiju are the only 2 single-player experiences within the entirety of Godzilla. With King of Kaiju solely focused on monster-on-monster action, God of Destruction is essentially the main story mode for Godzilla. As explained within the tutorial, Japan has been making a nuisance out of Godzilla's main energy source. With no other alternatives but to wreak havoc, players must embark on a quest to destroy these pesky generators, in order to harvest all the energy for our giant green monster. And with that said, that's pretty much the bulk of the experience within God of Destruction. Players will stomp around, destroy generators, and will repeat this annoying process for 7 to 10 stages. With not much variety, aside from the mode that allows you to defend these machines, as you can imagine, the appeal of this mode wears out its welcome quick. Sure, Godzilla tries to hide this boring factor through destroying vehicles and leveling entire cities to the ground, but even that isn't able to excuse the minimal effort placed into this poor and disappointing campaign. With little attention placed into the destructibility, buildings at most will flicker a few times before letting out a lackluster explosion. Needless to say, not even Michael Bay himself will be able to salvage much fun from wreaking havoc amongst these pitiful landscapes. As for destroying vehicles, spotting these fiends on the map is either an annoying process in itself, or just a flat out nuisance in trying to target properly. When you're not attacking generators, monsters will sometimes appear depending on either how much of the city you've destroyed, or how long you've been playing of the level. Whilst the thought of battling one of Godzilla's many kaiju may sound appealing on paper, it isn't until you discover by playing it just how boring and broken the combat mechanics are. Performing attacks are awkward and, in some cases, fail to connect at all. The move list is complete garbage, as a lot of the attacks fail to register properly, and as for the kaiju, finding off particular ones can be extremely agonizing, considering just how unbalanced every monster is.
Super X is badly damaged.
For Godzilla's presentation, visually this game looks incredibly dated. So much so, that if it wasn't for the appearance of the 2014 Godzilla, this could have been easily mistaken as a late PlayStation 2 title. Colour ranges from the most disgusting looking variations of grey, green and brown, and a lot of the levels are designed in a way to feel so small and restricted to the point that it will almost make players feel claustrophobic. Through its poor visuals, mediocre gameplay and broken combat mechanics, Godzilla manages to ruin all the potential that this title might have had. My advice? Pick up the movies, and instead, binge your way happily through the entirety of the Godzilla franchise. For more news and game coverage, be sure to check out Sticky Trigger Entertainment.